You're in debt, but you might have a bit of savings on the side, and you've been following the financial markets, seeing certain asset prices rise, and you want to get in on the action. So you're wondering if it's a good idea to invest while you're in debt. Well, I'm going to tell you what I did, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. Welcome to Finish First Financially, a channel dedicated to helping millennials and Gen Z to get out of debt and build savings. I'm Goran Radanovic. Before I became homeless, I didn't have any savings or investments. The thought of having those just didn't pop into my mind. I was living paycheck to paycheck. And then once I got off the street and I decided that I needed better money management habits, I started learning about how to become a saver. And eventually I had conditioned myself to save some money, even though I was making a low income. I was living the minimalist lifestyle. So I wanted my savings to make me more money. I wanted a passive income. And I started looking into the different investment options, fixed interest rates into a bank account or the stock market. And I saw that the returns that they were providing me annually were probably going to be around 10%. And that just wasn't enough for me. That didn't appeal to me, especially after all the fees that were included in those investments. And at the time, this was about 2017, I heard about Bitcoin. And then it went into its then all-time high of about $19,000. And I saw that the fees were low, that I had complete control of my assets, and that the returns were astronomical. So I decided to take the savings that I had while I was in debt. I just gotten off the street and had $40,000 of debt that I needed to repay, and I had some savings. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna use this savings to put it into cryptocurrency, and then once it explodes, I'm gonna use that money to pay off the debt. And then not only will I not have any debt, but I'll have even more savings from all the returns that I've made. So I did that. I put those savings into the cryptocurrency. I bought because we were expecting good news to come out and the price was going to go even higher, even though it had already gone up astronomically. And throughout the next few weeks, next few months, I watched my portfolio decrease and decrease and decrease until eventually it lost 90% of its value. And I was worried. I was just sickened about the decision that I had made. I couldn't believe what I'd done. I thought I was developing new money management habits. And here I was again back at square one, made another mistake. Whereas I should have used that money to pay off that debt. I had gone and done a stupid thing like invest into a really risky asset. And you might be wondering to yourself, you might be saying, well, I'm not going to invest into crypto. That's highly volatile. I'm going to go into stocks or I'm going to buy property. That's safer. The thing that you need to keep in mind is that returns aren't guaranteed and any investment can eventually be valued at zero. So that's very important to keep in mind when it comes to investments, regardless of what stage of your financial journey you're in. So if I could go back, what I would have done differently is used all of my savings to pay off the consumer debt. That is absolutely crucial. Then after paying off the consumer debt, if I had a house mortgage, I would have been fine with investing my savings because prior to going all in on debt, I would have had an emergency fund of at least $500 to $2,000 preferably, and 6 months of essential expenses, which would have covered my housing costs for that period if all of a sudden my income stopped and I needed to replace it. So I would have been in a much better situation had I gone down that route as opposed to having all this consumer debt and then putting my money into risky investment or really any investment at all. So that's what I would have done differently. And another important thing which I would have completely done differently, even if I had paid off all of my debts and now I decided to invest, is to use only the savings for investments which I'm comfortable losing, because you can lose all your money. I watched my investment lose 90%, which was just completely shocked me. But it happened, and it can happen to anyone. So hopefully you took an important lesson away from my disastrous mistake that I made. If you'd like to come onto the channel, you can email me at finishfirstfinancially@gmail.com. The information will be available in the description box below. And let's get you onto the show so that we can help you sort out your finances and put you on the path to financial freedom ASAP.